Everyone has a story. This one is mine. Essentially, my stuff is about playing. It's partly, yes, of course, childhood, but it's not that innocent. This is about making up stories.
برای اتیین کلمان، هنرمند فرانسوی ساکن لندن، زندگی و کار از هم جدا نیستند. این خانه علاوه بر محل زندگی، محل ساخت و نمایش آثار هنری اتیین است.
Born just north of Paris, and then brought up mostly in the south of France, in a place called Aix, en Provence. And then when I came to London, so I was 22, then photography picked up. Somehow I tried many things. I was working for the press, I did work for The Guardian, then did a lot of publicity shots for actors and for plays. I didn't think about it, it just like unfolded this way. I was doing a lot of architecture. I was doing like London at night, iconic, brutalist building. And I then showed that work at the AA. And somehow that, you can say, that launched me in that, or gave me a sense of a direction, like I'm going to go into architecture. It works, I enjoy it. It was for me somehow problematic to justify my move from architecture, from the outside world, from fishing images and outside to photographing little figurines. There is a progression that makes total sense of kind of importing images from outside, putting them inside, reducing and working small scale, and then shooting. For the last 10 years, 12, 15 years maybe, I've been doing these dioramas.
آثار اتیین هویت و روایت را به مدل‌های معماری اضافه می‌کند. بیشتر آثار او ریشه در وقایع تاریخی دارند. گرچه روایت اتیین از این رخدادها چندان وفادار به تاریخ نیست.
Basically, I play with two aspects. You can see realistic component and you can see pure fantasy. When I tell the story, when I write about it, I also structure my story with components that are verified, historically verified. And I combine that with complete fabrication. I make up stories. So that puts the viewer into this state of, no, yet yes. Boudoir is the first art gallery in Paris. This is in 18th century, 1720. The people who would commission painters would be either the church or the royals' money. This is a few years after the death of Louis XIV. There is new money in Paris. How was this new money made? Probably slavery and the colonies. So there is money. All these people come back to Paris and they've got cash to spend. And what do? They basically mimic what the aristocracy does, which is commissioning or having a painting on top of the mantelpiece. So it depicts an opening night in this first art gallery in Paris in 1720. A lot of these characters are inspired by strong references to some paintings. Like this is from a painting in Siena. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can make links with fake news. You know, for the last 10 years, like people start to fabricate things, and then they combine that with real stuff. Even the conspiracy theory is the same thing. It's like there's a bit of truth, and there is just complete fabrication.
aujourd'hui, pas maintenant, pas après tout ce que tu as fait.
No.
Et c'est carton rouge, oh non!
Rosso per Zidane che se ne va giustamente sotto la doccia, sotto la doccia, sotto la doccia.
C'est la dernière fois, il nous a fait tant rêver, il nous a donné tant de bonheur.
World Cup final, France, Italy. The world is watching the final and Zidane loses it. Where were you when this happened? You know, it's like where were you when this happened? You know, when Diana died, where were you? You know, we all remember what we were up to, whether we were watching that match or listening to the news or whatever. The French team went back to Paris and the then French president Chirac wanted to meet Zidane. This was totally acceptable. He messed up because he lost his cool and he shouldn't have. And then the following day, we completely understand you and bless you. It's almost like he's untouchable. The character here, Wendy, is me. From the back, she looks like a nice girl, no? Kind of non-judgmental observer. There was this idea of trespassing, going into places where you're not supposed to be, getting into buildings once the building has been evacuated before demolition or being destroyed. There were endless stories in these places, abandoned places, endless. They're reminders that we're not here to stay. It puts you back into your place. It's kind of like, calm down.
پس از برگزیت، احساس اتیین نسبت به لندن، شهری که آن را سالها خانه خود می‌دانست، مثل هر شهروند اروپایی ساکن انگلستان تغییر کرد. با این همه شهر نقش روایی بسیار مهمی در آثار اتیین بر عهده دارد و در بیشتر این آثار شهری که داستان در آن رخ می‌دهد شبیه به لندن است.
London, I think definitely, if you think of what I was doing in architecture 20 years ago, and the way it was presented, you know, black and white, night visions, it definitely has, I think, a massive impact on me. It made me stay very quickly. I'm sure you can still apply that now, even we went through Brexit and all these kind of nasties. It's a place that you can call it home very quickly. Yeah, it's my place, because it's full of people who are from somewhere else.
آخرین اثر اتیین، لفت گلاند، هم نام گالری هنریش است. اثری که موضوع آن به طور مستقیم لندن و شیوه زندگی ساکنانش را روایت می کند.
Fête galante is these lavish parties that kings and queens used to throw, 18th century mostly. And basically this series that I'm working on is combining 18th century fête galante and what is currently happening in the field, in London field. I've lived in this house for 20 years, and when I first moved into Hackney, it was just not at all what it is now. 5 years ago, when the weather was nice, people would come on the London field. First of all, they would dress up. I remember people passing the shop Saturday morning, and this is a catwalk. Everyone amazingly dressed up to go and party on London fields. You go out on Sunday morning, you see people and groups of people that you knew they were here last night, and this is 9 o'clock in the morning, still dancing and having a good time, and the sun is lifting itself, and There was something very hedonistic and festive about it, which I really liked. And I love that idea of non-stop partying, this idea of there is no tomorrow, let's just have fun. What do I like? I like the smell of my perfume at the moment. The perfume that I wear, it just takes me somewhere else. Conversation with my son. Seeing him waking up in the morning, very sweet. What else? I like all good music. Anything that is good, that you feel that they know what they're doing. It is very much like I want a fried egg and I will have it and it's good. The idea of switching off is something that I really enjoy, switching off completely and then be in sort of harmony. A Hampstead Heath in the summer, swimming in the pond. In London, in Hampstead Heath, you are bang on in London and you have a swim. That is pure pleasure. I love that.